Hope you all now able to see my screen, I believe, right? So this is what the ACMA, where exactly the ACMA sit in our, I mean, ACMA in the sense, it's a just rename of our MIA, Market Insurance Analyzer. So initially I thought of design it for the agents, but then I realized it's even though for the agents, it will gives us the more benefits from the insurance point of view. That's the reason I just renamed it as the MIA. However, if you can see here, the flow as we discussed yesterday, right? So the property owner submits the quotation. The quotation will reach us to the insurance agent, and the quotation will reach us to the brokers. Now the insurance agents either will approve the quotation or will deny the quotation. If they approve the quotation, then the quotation will be uh, sent to the insurance companies like Geico, State Farm, etc. Then the insurance companies will have the insurance customization tool like Guidewire Policy Center, and there they have the underwriters who will review this quotation, and they will prepare a policy document for the quotation that has been submitted by the property owner. And while they are preparing the policy, this policy have the premiums as well. So the policy along with the premiums, right? So when they create the policy, definitely the policy will have the premiums to pay by the property owners. So the premiums and then the policy, the premiums will send to the another product of the guideware, that is the billing center. The billing center will takes the premiums and split into the equal parts, and then the policy will be issued. Then when the policy issued, then the coverage of the insurance to the property owner's property will start from the day of the policy issued. Then these all the policy documents like policy documents, premium coverage document, insurance documents, all the documents will be stored here. It will be stored in the cloud, and those documents will be sent to the customer. I mean to say documents directly not sent to the customer, but when the documents will be uploaded to the document center, then the will have document center will have the I mean to say when the documents will be uploaded to the cloud, like let us say S3 bucket, right? Then then the products with guideware billing center or this policy center should have to trigger us a notification back to ACMA. So when we got the notification back to ACMA, then ACMA will creates the uh, credentials for the property owners for the document center. So document center is another application where the property owners will log into this MIA, and from MIA to document center they will do the single sign-on seamless login, right? So property owners will log in and then they will submit the quotations. And similarly, once the policy issued, then the property owners will also have the another application, that is the document center access. That document center contains all the property owners documents, right? And if any document changes were there, like the property owner has also to submit a couple of documents, a few of the documents to issue the policy, right? Like address proof, property property documents, property related photos or maybe documents, or the property owner's personal document, identity proof, address proof documents, right? All those documents will be maintained in the document center. Okay, now coming back to the first use case, right? So how this property owner or insurance agent, property broker, how these guys will create. So for that, so we have the three applications as we have seen, right? One is the market analyzer center. Second one is the policy center. Third one is the billing center. And we also have the one more application, that is the document center. So our product will have the four applications. So these two applications are not in our scope. They are already providing by a product suite called Guideware. So we don't need to worry about them. But the document center and then the our market analyzer, right? Let's say MIA. So document center and then MIA center. So these both are our applications. Okay. Now what will happen basically? So how we are saying this as the product, right? Listen carefully. What will happen when the product will be set up? Two things actually. This product is sitting as a, I mean this, okay, when the property, okay, when anyone wants to subscribe to our tenant, right? When anyone wants to subscribe it to our tenant, then super admins of our MIA product, market insurers analyzer, super admins of our MIA product, they will configure the tenants basically. Tenants meaning the subscription based. The when the when the property owner subscribes, he has to describe who he is. Then the super admin will provision a tenant for the property owner. When the agent want the subscription, then he has to describe what is the role. That is the reason if you can see our yesterday application, let's say localhost. And this application, if you can see the pricing model, right? So the pricing model have the subscriptions. Let's say when he wants to subscribe. So this is not implemented fully, but when he click on this subscribe, right? So then in the next page, we will ask him to enter his primary details, right? So we'll ask him to enter his details. So he'll enter the details like what is the first name, last name, email, mobile number, and we'll also show in that form like a drop down to choose him, whether he is the property owner, or he is the agent, or he is the broker. So we'll choose himself as an agent. So when he chooses himself as an agent and then submit that form, right? So those details will be stored in our uh, in our IDP. So how this will be happen? That is taken care by the user management service. So let me go here. I mean, I'm now trying to explaining the complete flow with the technical things. Then you will get a complete idea what to do. I mean, how it is. Then we can even discuss about the high level designs of each and every service as well. Sorry. So if you can see here, this user management service. So user management service. Okay, let me start this user management service so that you will get a better idea. Let me start this user management service. Mean the time. We already have our IDP. So let me log into our IDP. So localhost colon 8081. This is our IDP. Admin $3. Okay. This is what our IDP is. So we can even customize this, like, can add our themes and all. That's okay. So here is the realm. So our realm is MIA, Market Insurance Analyzer. Okay, so if you can see here, we have the users, right? So what will happen when the user will submit the form? Mm, okay, it is depending on the that server. Give me a moment. Mm, Services. Okay, so let me go back and then figure out what is its port number. Its port number is 5051. Okay, now let's go here. Localhost colon 5051 slash swag-UI HTML. Okay, so this is what the user management service we discussed yesterday, right? In our system architecture. In system architecture, you can see the user management service. See, security service, user management service. So what this user management service is doing basically. So when we create the user here, right? Let's say try out. Okay. Let me just give some details here. Username is, let's say, demo3, and first name is same demo3, and last name is the ChatTP. Email is demo3@yopmail.com, and mobile number is, let's say, +91 9876543210. Enabled true, email verified false because email is not yet verified. TOTP, time based OTP, yes, we need to send. Um, so what's the group ID? And then, so let's not take this. Now what will happen? Here is the form, right? So where is the form? Yep, here is the form. So when they click on this, pricing. So when they click on this pricing, right? So when they click on this, the pricing or subscribe, so we will show a page where we'll ask to enter these details like first name, last name, email, right? So we'll ask them to enter the um, primary profile data like this. So when the user enters this primary profile data, right? So if you can see the code, we also have to expect who is he basically. I said we're going to provide the drop down, right? So if we can see whatever the data we entered, that data will be come and then bind here. So we have a groups basically. Okay, so the group ID. So when he choose in the drop down, when he choose, okay, let me just keep this. Go back to here, groups. Okay, so we have a group ID. So this is what the group ID, in which group they want to provision. So in the drop down, what will happen is they'll have, when they click on the pricing and then when they click on the subscribe, a form will be open like this. One moment, a form will be opened. So let me scroll down pages, register, something like this, right? So username, first name, password, mobile number, and we also will show a drop down to choose what is basically, right? What is role. So when he choose that agent, then behind the scene, we'll get the group ID, like something like this. Right, so this is the group ID we are expecting, and here is the group ID. isn't it? So now what group they wanted to create basically. So if we can go and then see, we have a group and what group they wanted to. Now when we create this user, right? Now the user has been created. User has been created under what group? So we chosen this agents group, right? So go to the members. Now we have to see a member created. Not created. Let's go to agents. Oh, hey, one moment. Let's go to the users. Did the user create it? One moment. No, the user is not created. I think it's have some dependencies. Mm, okay, give me a moment. Let me start the discovery server as well. It depends on this discovery server. So that's the reason maybe it didn't went well. But okay, the point is what? When the user tries to register, he has to choose who he is. Then accordingly, he will be create in our IDP. So that way the user will be onboarded. So when the user will creates in our IDP, there was couple of steps, right? So there are set of steps basically. What are this? So once the okay, any user we can say, for example, we're talking about the agents onboarding, right? So agents onboarding. So agents will okay. Uh, okay, so these are the basic details that the agents will enter. And step one, after filling these details, then the basic details should go and then save in our IDP. Upon agent created in our IDP, a verification email will be triggered to agent's registered email ID. So let me go back and then just rerun. Probably I can showcase, maybe you will get a better feel. But yeah, just understand the thing, how the flow will be here. So as soon as the user created in our IDP, you can see the user's email here. This means this is not verified. This is not verified. This is not verified. That means what? The email has been sent to these email IDs, but the users were not clicked on the verification link. So the flow is what? Once the user has been successfully registered, then to the registered email ID, our IDP will send a verification email. So once the user clicks on the verification email link, then only the agent will be activated. Here, the user can be an agent, user can be a owner, user can be a um, admin or a broker. So we are talking about the agents use case, just in case agents are onboarding. So then the agent will be activated as soon as he click on the verification email link and with the privileges called ACMA agent privileges. That's the reason the privileges, why we're talking about privileges, because this user, whatever the user going to create, right, that user should create under a particular group. Let's say this is the group. So under this group, the user will create. So this group will be provisioned for this user, where that group will have a certain roles, and according to the roles, the user can access couple of things only. Later on time, we can perform the role-based access control and attribute-based access control and group-based access control if we can do this. So the user is provisioning into a particular group. Okay. So now it seems this user management service is okay. Let me try one more time uh, just to submit the same data. No, there is some issue, it seems to be with the code. Ah, token I need to pass, right? Okay. Basically, it shouldn't be a secure service. Hmm. Okay. For a while, let me not expect the token. Just for a while. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, let me not expect the token. But without, there is something is happening with the token. So without token, we are not allowing, it seems to be. That's okay. Okay, so that's fine. So we don't have the token yet. So to get the token, again, we need to go and then get the token from the postman, meaning we need to call. Okay, I don't have the token at this moment. What I can do is I can start this service. Give me a moment. I'm just trying to explaining you the flow, right? How, what code we have written really, and each and every code, what it is doing. So the level of the product that we're going to implement is what I would like to showcase to you. Okay, so it's on the 5052, but I don't know whether we have Swagger or not. But let me try 5052 Swagger. No, we don't have the Swagger for this one. Okay, however, let me log in some credentials. At least I have to get the token here in the, so that token I can use, I can leverage. That's okay. Hey, I'm not, uh, one moment, folks. Token processor. Hmm. Okay. Inspect. I have. Let me go to the application cookies. Hmm. One moment. Slash token. Hmm. Why can't I? Give me a moment. Let me print the token. Hey, I'm printing, right? Access token is. So let me get that access token. Hmm. Yep. So this is the access token, right? So this is the access token. Now with this access token, let's go back to here. Let's give the token, authorize, close, and let's submit. Oh no, I think I have to reload it. Let me give the access token now and create the user. Okay, the username is demo03 and the first name is demo03 and then the last name is chatp and email ID is demo03 at the rate yopmail.com. And then the mobile number is, let's give something, +91 987654321. Yeah, user enabled is true. Email verified. Okay, let's go with the true and TOTP and this group ID. So the group ID is, again, in which group we want to provision, right? So based on the user selects from the drop down, right? In the UI, the user selects the drop down. So the drop down will have a particular group. Behind the scene, when it comes to our backend, it will be the group ID. Okay, and this ID is not needed for us. At least let's see whether it will work or not. I don't think so. It didn't work. There might be some issue. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, it don't work. Why? Because we are trying to, okay, this IDP is running as a Docker container. So if you can see, this is running as a Docker container. And we are now running our application uh, in the non-Docker environment. So that's the reason it is not working actually. I mean, it's not able to go and then hit it. Okay, but the point is, I think you got the point, right? So what is the implementation now you're going to do? So the users will onboard when the user will create, right? So as soon as the user create, the user will be mapped under a particular group. And also the user, role mappings. If you have any roles, then the role mappings will be happen. Basically, the group, right? The groups will, when we create the group, so we also will do the role mapping. So these are all the things we'll discuss when we started. But the point is, every created user will belongs to the either of the three groups that we have, right? So this is what the user's onboarding flow. The user can be an agent, or the user can be a normal user. Let's say this user is not. We can even manually provision the user under a particular group as well. Let's say this user. So go to the group and we can provision him as the broker, right? So he is now the broker. But rather than the manually provisioning, right, what we are doing, we are provisioning the user from our API. So we're going to write an API, which is nothing but the user management microservice, which will takes care of the users onboarding, right? And also we can provision explicitly also the particular user um, under the particular group. Okay, so this is about the users onboarding. Now you understood the users are of type 3. The user is the owner, the user is the agent, user is the broker, and user is also admin. But admin don't come from the self-registration pages. In fact, agents also, brokers also don't come from the self-registration pages. They agents and then the broker should be onboarded by the administrators. Only property owners should have to come from the self-registration. But to make the process easier, let us bring also the outside agents. I mean to say, yesterday what we discussed in the, if we can go back to the system. So this insurance agents, right? These insurance agents were employed by these insurers, right? They are the employees of these insurers. If that is the case, these insurance agents will be onboarded into our ACMA by the insurance company administrators. So we will also provide, when these guys will subscribe it to our product, then we'll give the admin credentials, and those admin credentials used by these insurers, and they will onboard their agents. That is okay. But we also have to enable the provisioning, or the simplest way to onboard the other agents, self agents, or the self brokers, right? So brokers are the self employers, self entrepreneurs, or maybe self uh, organization members. So the brokers have to themselves onboard into our uh, property analyzer, right? So that's the reason we are enabling the farm for the all three personas, right? Okay, now go back to the workflow. I mean to say, this is a common flow for each and every user. So when the user will register, a verification email will be triggered, and they have to click on the verification email link. Then only the user will be activated. When the user will be activated, the user will be provisioned with a particular privileges. Just now we have seen, right? And the user will be redirected back to the reset password page. Immediately when he click on that link, a link will be sent in the email. right? So when he click on that link, then the group will be provisioned for that user, and that link will redirect the user to reset password page. Here, two things actually. When we are expecting the password from the self-registration page, there is no point in going to reset password. But if you can see, we are not expecting the password from the user self-registration, isn't it? So we're not expecting it. Okay. What else if we expect the password? We can expect, but what is the guarantee that the user will activate his account and then use our product, right? I mean to say, when there is a uh, email verification flow, better not to have the password state from the form. Okay, because the users will be enabled based on the email verification link. If they verify their email, their profile, then only the user will be enabled. Then user will be enabled. Then we have to redirect the user to change his passwords. Okay, so in our flow, we have to redirect the user to reset password page. So in the reset password page, the password and confirm password will be asked. So once entered, then the step-up authentication will be performed. Here again, two things. Step-up authentication will be performed in the sense what? Um, if it is the agents, the brokers, or the property owners, will mandate them to go with the MFA, multi-factor authentication. So in the step-up authentication, I mean to say they will reset their password, right? So as soon as they reset their password, we will be redirected to a page where the MFA uh, MFA details will be there, like what is the authenticator, from where they can download, the QR code scanning and all will showcase. So once they read that QR code by downloading any of the authenticator app, then the profile will be linked uh, to the particular MFA, meaning multi-factor authentication will be enabled, and then the device will be linked to the profile. Then that's it. Once the MFA confirmed, then the password for the particular user will be changed. Then again, one more email notification will be sent by notifying the password changed successfully. And also we'll send the welcome email by, by confirming the onboarding process completed. And in the welcome email, we will give the link from where they can log into the application, like akma.properties.com, or let's say mia.properties.com, something like that. So once the user will be logged in, then the user dashboard will be open, and already the user provisioned to a particular group, isn't it? So according to the group provisioned for that user, when the user is login, then based on the user's login, we have to display the user's persona. I mean to say the dashboard. If it is super admin, then we have to display the admins, agents, brokers, all these things. If it is the admin, then we have to display the agents, brokers, owners, and all. And if it is the simple agents or the brokers, then we don't need to display all those things. We just will display, if it is the agent, then we'll display the agent and the quotations and a couple of other things, right? So agents, quotations. I think we have our UI I shown yesterday, right? So we'll display the agents and then the quotations and then the properties and then the property owners for the agents. And for the brokers, we'll see the brokers, owners, and quotations and the properties and all those things. So based on the logged in user persona, the dashboards will be displayed. That's it from the user onboarding flow point of view. And I'll also prepare a high-level design document for that. Any questions in this flow? Any questions? Great. Okay, so if no questions, then um, what are we are using for this? What is the technical stack we are using for this user management? Sort of curiosity, I just would like to show you the code of it. Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, sir. Sir, are we going to see key clock flow also?
Your voice
How to?
is your voice is slow. You are asking about some key clock. Yeah. Could you please
Yeah.
be loud?
How about now, sir? Am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Please go ahead.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are now audible.
Is
Better.
yeah. Sir, are we going to see the end to end, like how to configure key clock and
Mm,
yeah.
correct. Yes.
So those details also as part of this course.
Correct. Correct. Yes.
Installation. Okay.
Yes. Key cloak installation as an on-prem installation as a container, right? So we're going to discuss them. Installation, configuration, and then the overview of this realm, what is realm, and then I will give the complete overview of the Keycloak, walk through the Keycloak dashboard as soon as we set up. There is a lot of things here. So see, we are using our LDAP, and then we are also using the LDAP as the secondary store, and then the database as the primary store we are using. So how to integrate the LDAP with the database, and then the um, LDAP, all those things we will see. For example, if we can see the code, uh, just let me show you something as the question asked. Mm, yeah, see this. Mm, yeah, this is the Keycloak setup. So now the Keycloak is using the database, and also it is using the federation service. So when goes to the config service, it's the DB. When goes to the federation service, it's the OpenDJ. Yeah, we'll discuss all these things as part of the our course basically. Okay. Now coming to the flow, like how the users are creating into the IDP from our user management API. So it's a microservice, right? So I mean, microservices are single responsibility services. Similarly, that's the first principle of microservice. Out of six principles, the first principle is microservices or uh, single responsibility services basically. So if you can see, the is talking about the user's responsibility, single functionality, right? So it is talking about the single functionality, users management. So as soon as the form will be submitted, so we are using the REST standards here and REST API, REST implementation. So that user information will be bound to our user bean. And as soon as the validations has been performed, right? So we have, because it's a sensitive data, the user primary profile, I mean, primary details, very sensitive. So we need the very validated details basically. So once the data has been validated, then if we can see, oh, see this, I did not call this. That's the reason the user not created. Ah, okay. Now let me restart this. I will walk you just because we said the high level design, right? So just I'll walk you through the architecture, I mean flow, what it is follow. See this. So now we are calling the service method implementation. Now in the service, what we are doing, we are converting our bean to the model. Then the model we are sending to the outbound API. So we created an outbound API class where it will invoke the keycloak API, right? And then it will post the data to the keycloak API. Then as soon as the user created in the keycloak, then it will take back that user and then display back the user details. So for example, if we can go here, now let me submit as we, sure, now it is created because we enabled, right? Yep. Now see, 204. So that means what? We see this. So this is the API. This is the API we called, and then the user created, and then the user provisioned under the group. So let's go and then see. Mm, Go to the users. Yep, demo 3. So this demo 3 is under which group now? Under the ACMA agents. So go to the group ACMA agents and go to the members. So we have the demo 3 member as well, right? So if the user wants to leave, I mean, we can provision and then deprovision the user actually from the particular group. Okay, that is a different story, but this is the flow. So the flow is what? Um, as I shown in this system architecture, this is the flow, right? So user management API will invoke the keycloak APIs internally, right? So we're gonna implement a mechanism here to invoke the keycloak APIs and then create the users over there, get the response back, and then we'll print this response back to the, as a response, we'll give the response. We'll give the user details, created user details as a response back, right? Then when the user created, internally what will happen? As soon as the user created in this keycloak, right? It will trigger the notification to the registered email ID. Then the user has to go and then check the registered email ID, and he has to click on the verification link. As soon as he click on the verification link, then user will be enabled actually. So right now, okay, we'll create one more user with the demo 4. Let's say demo 4 by disabling, right? So let's say user enabled. No, user should be disabled. Email verified. No, email not verified. And TOTP, yes. MFA, I mean, time-based OTP is true. So yes, now the user might create it here. Just let me refresh. Now see, demo 4 user is disabled. Why he is disabled? Because his email was not verified. So he has to go back to his inbox, verify his email. As soon as he click on the verification link, then he will call one of our API. Like, we haven't implemented that, but we have to implement. So like activate user API, then the activate user API behind the scene activate the users in the keycloak and then enables the user and then redirect the users to the reset password page. So in the reset password page, once the user reset his password, then again, the reset password will be happens directly in the keycloak. So once the reset has been done, then again, we will be redirect the user to the MFA page where he will scan the QR code and then link his authenticator app with the user profile. That's it. So once that steps were done, then the user will be onboarded into the ACMA and user is good to use ACMA. That's all from this user onboarding point of view. And then the code, I mean, sample flow, right? How it is coming from controller to service, service to outbound API. So this is what it is. We have the model and then see outbound API, and we have handled the exceptions, right? So validations, exception, they are common for every service, isn't it? So you can see the advices, see global exception handling is what we have done. Lot of stuff we did. So we also gonna do all these things. Okay, that's it from the user management service point of view. Uh, in the next class, we'll connect with the next service, that is the authentication authent service, how we designed, how it has been, what it is doing. Let's discuss about this, and then we'll go and then see the next high level design of the business services. That's all. Any questions for me? Here you will teach Docker also. No, I don't teach Docker. Rather, Docker, okay, because this is the project implementation, folks, right? We don't have the time to teach everything like from the scratch, the theoretical aspects, no. So we directly gonna write the Docker files. So you should have the prior knowledge of the Docker before coming to here, or maybe you guys can go and then parallelly learn the Docker somewhere and then ready for use the Docker in our project. But again, what is Docker? What is container? What is image? I don't discuss that stuff. But we're gonna write the Docker file for every service, right? So you guys have to get that knowledge, and then you can use it on our project. Great. That's all from my side for today. Any questions for me? Great. If no questions, then thank you so much, folks, and probably see you in the next demo. Thank you.